All right, guys, we just had the awesome privilege of doing an interview with this guy right here, Clayton, the lead drummer for Ain't Too Proud. We are so excited.
Stay tuned.
It's cold.
It is cold.
Places
from New York City.
Hi, I'm Jen.
And I'm Sarah, and
we're
we
the
are the
Golden
Golden Broads of the Bay.
Yeah.
Welcome to our second interview vlog. We are so excited that today we get the pleasure to sit down with Clayton Craddock, the lead drummer from the next big hit, Ain't Too Proud.
We called it, y'all. We called
Ain't
it.
Too Proud, the life and times of the Temptations. So the show's opening on Broadway March 21st with its first preview February 28th. Tickets are on sale. Get your tickets right now.
We got ours. Get yours.
At the Imperial Theater.
Yes.
So Clayton, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down
Glad to
with
be here.
two Bay Area broads who happen to be super fans of Ain't Too Proud.
As you know.
Yeah, so Ain't Too Proud is clearly not your first taste of Broadway. If you don't mind, we're just going to dive in to some questions. So who are your biggest influences and who do you admire most?
Musically or personally?
Musically.
Musically, my favorite drummer of all time is a drummer named Tony Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And he just blows my mind every time I hear him. He's no longer around, but I just find him to be fascinating. As far as some of my biggest influences, I would say I don't have one.
Okay.
I have several, like Steve Gadd, Steve Jordan, Steve Smith.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Steve's,
Not a
huh?
Steve's, yeah.
Yeah, Steve Smith was a drummer for Journey. I grew up on a lot of late 70s, early 80s funk and rock. And those three are
We're Bay Area girls, so Journey's, you know.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in the playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what sort of inspired you to do what you're doing now, to be a musician?
I've always wanted to be a musician. I grew up playing on pots and pans in my parents' household. I used to take the pots and pans and bang on them. They would tell me to stop, and so eventually I got a drum set from my cousin, and I started playing. I just always loved doing it. There's one time I went over to my cousin's house and I saw this big shiny thing with all kind of metal stuff going on. I was like, what is that? And just happened to be a drum set. So my parents got me the drum set, and I started playing after school every day, and I never stopped.
Never looked back. Yeah, I was going to ask why drums, but I understand now.
There's just always something in me. I just felt a connection to it.
And was it natural from day one?
Yeah, I guess it was.
Wow.
Yeah, I just kind of felt it. So nobody in my family, other than my cousin, actually played drums, and nobody was really musical. Other than my other cousin plays guitar. One of my other cousins plays guitar, but that's about the only musical people in my family. But it was just something that came naturally to me, and I just kind of fell into it.
Don't deny the gift.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank goodness, right? So you obviously were playing, I'm sure a myriad of the kinds of gigs you were doing, but what sort of led you to theater?
Good question.
Yeah.
Well, I have always wanted to play drums, and my father was more pragmatic, and he always wanted me to do something that was more in line with what he did, which was be in business and be in accounting. So in college, he wanted me to go to college to study business, but I wanted to go to Berklee College of Music. So it was a big struggle for me and him back in the early 80s. So he took out this the want ads. He said, look at all these accounting jobs. I was like, Dad, I want to be a musician. He's like, look at all your friends. They're bums. You never be anything. You never amount to anything if you be a musician. So I studied accounting, and I got a D in accounting 1. And an F in accounting 2.
You're like, nope.
So it didn't really work out, but I eventually graduated with my degree from Howard University in business. But I was in the marching band for 4 years, and I loved it. In every music class I got an A, and so I was like, something's not computing right.
Yeah.
Right.
So eventually I got out, and I started playing in bands in the DC area, and blues bands and some rock bands here and there. But I was like, I didn't really want to go into business, so I decided, let me just move to New York and try to make it as a musician. So I came to New York, and long story short, this guy named Matt Beck. Thank you very much, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank
for
you, Matt.
connecting me into the whole scene. He said, I heard about this show called Footloose that's going to be going to Las Vegas for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be in Las Vegas for 3 months. Then it's going to go on, possibly go on tour. So I said, why not? But at the time, I was subbing at Rent on Broadway, and I started getting into the whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what? If I can do this and quit my job, because I was working day jobs at the time. I was working at Chase Bank and working at Clearinghouses for brokerage firms.
It's like, wow, you heard that? Yeah, no, yeah, I've heard this, a lot.
This profession, you gotta hustle.
Yeah, you
gotta
do.
hustle.
So eventually, I quit my day job, and I went to do this tour, and I wound up making money playing music and getting a steady paycheck. I was like, wait a minute, I can do this.
Yeah.
So when I got at the end of the tour, the same guy, Matt Beck, I can't even say his name right.
What was the tour?
It was the tour of Footloose.
Okay, the tour of Footloose.
Yes,
Okay.
So we went all around the country, and I saw how beautiful the country was. And I got back, and he said, I got this show called Tick, Tick, Boom that I'm going to be doing. Would you like to do it? So eventually I got into that, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. The thing is, at the time, I never forget, the musical director, Stephen Oremus, at the time, who I didn't really know was going to be huge.
Right.
But he was like, they were joking with each other, but at the time, I was really amped because I thought it was great. They're like, so we're going to start, we're going to do rehearsals, and when we get started, we're going to get paid $525 a week. And I was like, yes, that's great. I'm rich. But they were joking with each other because they had done Broadway shows and they had known real good money. But I was happy making $525 in New York. I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
But it was Tick, Tick, Boom, which I didn't realize was going to turn into this big thing.
Sure.
And then I started doing that. Then I started subbing for Jeff Potter, who was the drummer for Rent. Then I started subbing for the drummer for Little Shop of Horrors. Then I started subbing for a bunch of other things, The Color Purple, and then eventually I got Altar Boys, and then I got Memphis, and then I got Lady Day, and then I got this show.
Yeah. Wow.
So
yeah. So I was gonna say, what shows are you working on? So out of those shows, are you on any of those cast albums?
I'm on Tick, Tick, Boom, Altar Boys, Memphis, Lady Day, and this will be my 5th one. So I'm very happy.
So are we. Oh, that's amazing. What? Yeah, that I love it. I love the quitting the day job and just.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes if this. Okay, keep going. There's other questions I think.
Yeah.
Well, no. Please, elaborate. Yeah.
When you're really passionate about something, and you have a burning desire to do it, I suggest go ahead and do it because, they say jump and the net will appear.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the net will appear. If it doesn't appear, you'll bounce.
and you'll
land somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
But eventually you'll get to where you want to go. If you're really passionate about something, I think it's just a matter of you putting the effort and having the ability to do it. Because some people say, I'm going to be in the NBA, but you can't really, make a layup, and you're like, well, you're not going to make it. But if you have the talent enough and you really work on it and you persevere, I think you can succeed. And as far as quitting the day job to become a successful musician, that's kind of what I was determined to do, and I wasn't going to let anybody stop me. And thankfully, at this point.
Well, congratulations.
Yes.
I love the amount of the shows you've played on. I'm like, oh,
That's
oh my God. Little Shop's like in my top 5 shows of all time.
Shows.
Love
I
that
just
show.
subbed on that. It wasn't my show.
Okay,
Yeah.
but still,
Still to be in there. And
and I know your part. Like I've listened to that cast album. I've been in it. I've been involved with Little Shop 9 times.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So
so I know that show. So I know your part. I know what it sounds like. I should say.
Yes.
That's the part you played. So wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. So we want to ask you a little bit about your personal life, if you don't mind. We won't dive too deep.
Yeah, because a lot of people are including us, are so interested how people manage to balance family life with this type of career. So you let's talk about your family. So you have a girlfriend, you have kids.
Yes.
You want to talk about them a little bit? Let me hear where do you all live and
Are you here in New York?
Yes.
are you based here? Were you born and raised in New York?
No, I was born in Manchester, Connecticut, and like I said, I went to school in D.C.
Okay.
and moved to New York in 1993, and had my 2 kids. I got married, had 2 kids, and now I'm no longer married, but I'm with my beautiful girlfriend, and my daughter just turned 16.
She is beautiful, by the way, gorgeous.
And my son will be 12 this year, and
Adorable.
it's a wonderful thing having kids, and I can't wait to move out to this area.
Yeah, the Bay.
That is for you. That's a little
that's for
Bay
you.
Area
Actually,
treat
it's a little treat for you.
Yeah, that's a treat for you. From
Being
the
out
Bay.
there in the East Bay for 4 months last year was kind of the thing that made me say, what am I doing in New York? But I know why I'm in New York because I'm doing this.
Right,
We know why
right.
you're
We
in
know
New
why
York.
you're here.
And plus, I'm with my kids. I don't want to ever leave my kids
Sure.
because fatherhood is really important to me, and I find that a lot of people don't. I shouldn't say a lot of people don't take it seriously, but people underestimate the importance of fathers in society and the importance of fathers with raising kids. So through my trials and tribulations in family court, I made it a point
Keeping it real, right?
that I will always be there for my kids, and I
Good
wasn't
for
going to
you.
leave them. So I'm here for another 7 years, and that's half the time that this will run. Because this will run.
It's gonna run.
Oh my
You may not be leaving in 7 years. The way
Man,
this
it's gonna
show,
be. I think we're gonna be seeing it quite a few times on our
Yeah.
trip to
Please
New York.
come back in,
Oh yeah.
in 2028.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we are. We're coming.
Maybe we'll have listening devices by then, but we'll be there.
Come in with
Yeah, in 2028. Yeah, that's
Yes.
true. Yeah. Be like, I have to go get my hearing aid. So, all right. So, so New York now is home for you, obviously.
Yes.
Okay. But then you made a comment that you want to go back to the East Bay.
I really love California.
You enjoyed your time
California.
there.
Ella Bay.
Yeah.
Some of the other shows I've done, just in workshop mode or other things have been all over the United States. Not all over the United States.
Did you workshop Memphis in the Bay
We did production of it
at Theater Works?
at
No.
in Seattle.
Oh, in Seattle. Okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
yes. But I went to San Diego to work on a show called The Last Goodbye, which was a really interesting show. But people were telling me how great San Diego was. You're gonna love it, and I was like, man, it's perfect weather. It's like it's 72 and sunny every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with the mountains and the sun and the nice people. Everybody was happy. Or at least people seemed happy.
Right. Right.
But then I went to the Bay, and I realized that there's sunny parts in the Bay, and there's the cold in certain parts of San Francisco.
All right there, those microclimates. Yeah.
And then there's the north, what's it called, the wine country?
Napa. Yeah.
Napa. And then there's this. You can get to LA, and it's like
And the snow and the beach and
this is it.
Yeah, we're born and raised there, so we
Really?
we're never leaving.
No.
So we just visit other places.
I hear it. I hear it.
Yeah. So you've toured all over the country.
Yes.
So what's sort of the biggest challenge or the coolest thing about getting to tour around the country?
Well, it was cool until it wasn't, as my cousin would say. I found touring when I was younger and before I had kids to be amazing. And you should definitely tour. You should see the United States, see the world, because it's a beautiful country. My mother used to say that, you should see America because it's God's country. And when I saw the mesas in the Southwest, and I saw the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, and in the Northwest, I saw the I don't know if they're evergreens or whatever they are in the Northwest, and the South was very interesting, and the barbecue and different northern. It's just the fascinating parts of our country, and I discovered New Orleans.
I just got back from New Orleans.
Yeah, I went last year.
I love that place.
Yeah.
So I found it to be out in the United States and see how beautiful our country is, and to visit different parts and to see the little things that make America great.
Yeah.
That it's already great, and it is great right now. Well, I take that back.
Yeah.
We have a lot of work to do.
Yes,
The foundation itself is
it's a beautiful country.
Beautiful country. Yes. Absolutely.
And that's one of the things I like about touring. It's just something to see, and people are really interested to meet, like yourselves.
And you're someone who does just a little bit that I see on social media, that you soak in everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And
appreciate that because we get to see sort of
get to see
a little piece of thing. Yeah,
just even like graffiti on the wall, you point out, and little things which that is so.
These restaurants that
stay that way, man. It's gonna keep you humble because you're about to go through. You're about to go through it all right now. So stay humble because it is beautiful to see that, to see you appreciating just life in its form. You know, everything.
Because life is short.
Yes.
And just to walk outside and just look up instead of looking on your phone all the time for seeing what other people are doing. There's just stuff right around you
for you to do.
Yes, right here.
So you've been doing this for a while. So being as a professional musician, what would you have done differently if you knew now what you knew, or if you knew then what you knew now?
Nothing.
Yes, I love that. I love that answer. That's awesome.
Let's get some.
Yes, that's awesome.
That is.
What surprising lessons have you learned as a professional musician?
Well, I take that back. Maybe I would have tried to really force my father to have me go to Berkeley, but then again, I wouldn't have had the same experiences.
Yeah, you wouldn't have met the same people. You wouldn't have been in those. Yeah.
I remember. I don't know how much time we had.
We have as much time.
I remember working it was a place called Pershing, which is a division of Donaldson, Lufkin, and Jen Rett. It was in the late 90s when Clinton was president, and I worked in the International Reconciliation Department. I barely remember what I did, but I know it was clearing trades.
Yeah.
Back, when you actually had to do certain things in order to clear trades, and now it's probably all done by computers. But I remember having our table, and there was a really conservative guy who had just gotten out of college, and he's like the Rush Limbaugh of our table. Then there was a guy who was somewhat conservative, but he loved hip hop. Then there was a Dominican woman who was right next to me, who was like ultra liberal, and I'm in the middle because I just got back from Howard. I had graduated, and I was partly radical, but I was listening to all these different points of view, and we would argue at our table. And I can't believe we even did stuff like that, because nowadays, if you argue about politics, it's like really divisive.
Yes.
And we would have these deep conversations, and I remember if I didn't go through that and hear how people thought, I probably wouldn't have grown to the person I am today. So, I mean, I don't know if going to Berkeley would have made me any better of a musician.
Yeah, and working in business too, like you said, it taught you a few lessons that led you to making that decision.
Yes.
To leave and to be a musician. Yeah. So
to know exactly what I really wanted to do in life. It's like, this is not what I want to do. So I mean, I don't think I really regret too much.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what's the best advice you've ever received in the industry, in being a musician?
One of the friends that my father said I would wind up being if I wound up being a musician, he told me, never play with people that aren't as good as you. Wow. And it's a really good piece of advice.
Never be the best person in the room, or
correct, basically, because you don't want to be the person necessarily that's like you said, the best musician in the group. You want to learn from other people, and I think that's good advice, because you can always learn from people, and there's always somebody better than you, and it helps you become a better musician. Like, for instance, when we were doing the soundtrack recently, last week.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
I'm sitting here playing with these musicians that are just amazing, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. And then I had to realize I gotta step up my game, because these guys are like on point all the time. They barely make mistakes. So I was like, okay, I gotta step my game up, and step my game up from where it was over the past year. I just gotta keep elevating. And then when we get to the theater, you gotta even put it that much higher. So it's like it always pushes you to become a better person, a better musician, to surround yourself with people that are better than you.
Yeah, that's great advice.
That's great advice.
So Ain't Too Proud.
Okay,
let's talk a little bit about that. Okay. So the Golden Broads of the Bay had the pleasure of seeing the world premiere in Berkeley, and then
we went down to LA, and we are those crazy girls that didn't see it one time in one day. We saw it 2 times in the same day.
Yeah.
We went to the matinee, and then we went to the evening show.
Yeah.
That's when I met you guys.
Yes.
That's when we had the pleasure of meeting you. Yeah. So
absolutely.
We are huge fans of the show. From the moment we saw it in Berkeley, we were like, oh, we're going to be seeing this in New York. I mean, it's you guys have no
Can I ask you
idea.
guys a question?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
So what was it about the show that you found interesting?
Wow, it's sort of well, I think Derek, his storytelling ability, like right from the jump, was like sort of grabbed me. The music, it's Motown. It's the Motown catalog. I mean, like it. I listen to that all the time, and then now to have something like Motown and musical theater come together was just sort of like this perfect marriage. And I mean, and then the performers are powerhouses. I mean, it's just like this perfect little present, I feel like, for me in everything that I appreciate. And so when we saw it, I just fell in love.
And for me, Sarah said, "Hey, let's go see this." And I mean, the Temptations. I love the Temptations. Of course, I want to go see it. What I didn't know was that when I was going to step foot into seeing that show, that I was going to be told a story, a true story, and get to see the back side of the story and fall in love with each one of those stories, and then the women, as well as then having what's going on in history right now to see that shit hasn't changed. Sadly, it hasn't changed. Like it gave me hope that maybe this could be a turning point. Maybe this show could help break some of those barriers. I don't know. I felt. I remember when the show ended and those guys went off of the little conveyor.
Okay, there's a conveyor.
I remember saying, "You're going to Broadway. You're going to Broadway." Like I had goosebumps.
Yeah.
I knew it. I just felt it right then and there.
It's a party. Like, and I remember seeing in Berkeley. Like we've seen shows at Berkeley Rep. The audience of Berkeley Rep is not as lively maybe as some other, but the show is a party. Like I had to contain myself. Like, let's not be rude to the people around you.
I have to say, Berkeley Rep did do us justice by putting a little flyer in that said, if you feel like
if the spirit moves you
to yell and shout like it's church, yell and shout. Have fun with it. And that gave us license.
Totally different than other theaters, right? Some theaters.
In Toronto?
No, we did. We tried, but we couldn't make that happen.
It was a very different audience. They were told not to get up and move.
Oh, wow.
There was a sign that said,
I remember seeing that.
And so people were just like this.
That's horrible.
No, you can't. Golly. I can't.
The LA audience, though, as you probably, they were just really off the hook.
Oh yeah.
DC too.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And New York will be just as good.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. You talked about the cast album.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's been recorded?
Yes.
Oh, yes. So now it's going
to be on loop in the car.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be, obviously, I got to do all their magic, and put it together and all that good stuff. But the fact that it's been recorded.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
That's great.
It's going to be a great cast.
So
we'll stay tuned on that. We'll let you guys know if we find out when that thing's dropping, but we'll know as soon as that date gets released. Okay, so what are you looking forward to most about opening Ain't Too Proud?
Somewhat on a sad note, I'm looking forward to having my mother come. Because she is not doing very well, but I want her to come see, which will hopefully be my last Broadway musical. Because I want to have this run for 50 years.
Right.
Positive attitude there.
But I really am looking forward to having her see it.
Yeah.
And that's really my biggest thing. And just being a part of another big show and just enjoying the ride as it happens.
Yes.
Good. Amazing.
Good.
Well, we're so thrilled. I mean, to have seen the show, got to see it at the world premiere, going to LA, and then getting the chance to meet you. It was like just a happenstance run in, and that was
so special.
Pretty awesome. So thank you for just like spending some time with us. We do have our little
one more.
That's right.
We want to know what character you would play. If you could play any
character
in Ain't Too Proud.
In Ain't Too Proud.
And it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be your favorite character, just like any character that you would like to.
I would be the Black Shelley Burger.
I like it.
I think because he was trying to keep everything together, and I wouldn't say I'm a person who likes to keep it together, but I like to try to find common ground with people, even though people might have different opinions on things.
That's keeping it together.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'd like to eventually have a show called Common Ground, because I think most people do have a common ground.
Just gotta get there.
Yeah, we just gotta get there. I think people want to jump off in their own little tribes, but we're all human beings, and we all want the best for our families. I think that's what Shelley Burger wanted. He wanted the best for the Temptations. He wanted to move things forward. He wanted to keep the different interesting personalities together. So that's kind of why it be.
I like it.
I like it. That's
All right, so now we want to end our interview with our Golden Broads of the Bay quick fire questions. So we're just going to ask you sort of a this or that, and you let us know.
Okay. Coke or Pepsi?
Water.
Sing or dance?
Dance.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Run or bike?
Bike.
Sunflower seeds or peanuts?
Sunflower seeds.
Phantom or Les Mis?
Neither.
Analog or digital?
Digitalog.
Beer and wine or cocktails?
Whiskey.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Pause for the bus. Pause for the bus.
Pause for the bus.
Okay. Plane or train?
Plane.
Vacation, tropic or big city?
Anywhere but the big city.
Okay. Bookstore or music store?
Bookstore.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
All right.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you,
We're so
Clayton.
thrilled
We're
to
so happy
sit
to
down
have
with you for a few
These two
minutes.
YouTube stars in the future, right here.
Clayton, thank you so much. And if we don't see you before, we will see you in April.
Yeah, we'll be back in April. We have our tickets already purchased.
April
Yes.
when?
April 14th and 16th.
So-
We're coming
so
twice.
We're going twice.
We're coming twice. Yeah.
Okay.
These
We will be
crazy
there.
ladies, but yeah, we'll be there, so we're excited. So
Hopefully
thank you.
hopefully in our
Yes.
Temptations
Yeah.
sweatshirts.
Yeah, you
Thanks.
guys got to get some of these.
Yes.
These are great.
Yes.
All right, well, thanks so
Thank you.
much. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Curtain.
Curtain.